Highway region, south of Colac. Leave immediately instructions apply to Barangarok West, Irrawilpi East, Tomahawk Creek and northern parts of Kawarren. And Jellybrand, we just mentioned, and southern parts of Kawarren have dropped in their status to a watch and act, monitor the conditions and look after those blueberries. In Carlisle River, there's a watch and act for people to prepare to leave, and another watch and act to monitor conditions in a place like Kennedy's Creek. To the northeast of the state, the Walwa and Corryong fires, 4 emergency warnings are active there. Current wind direction is from the southeast towards the northwest. That's from the southeast to the northwest. That's the current wind direction in Toowong Shire. If you are in Grania, Bunjil, or it might be Bungle, I think, Burrawa, Walwa and surrounds, leave immediately. And residents from Burrawa and Walwa should travel to Albury-Wodonga via New South Wales roads, which can be accessed at the river crossing there at Jingellic. Residents from Thaloggalong and Grania must travel west along the Murray River Road to Albury-Wodonga or Tallangatta. And if you are in parts of the Tallangatta Valley, Bullio, Kuitong, Shelley, Baringamar, Lucy Vale and surrounds, you should take shelter now. People in the east, Narrial Valley, Cudgewar, Corryong, Towong, Thalga, Bigara, you should leave immediately. And to the south of the fire in the Midder Valley, including Tallandoon, Eskdale, Dartmouth and surrounds, leave immediately using the Omeo Highway to Lockhart's Gap Road. And a watch and act is in place to the west of that fire system. People in Georges Creek, Jarvis Creek, Bethanga, Old Tallangatta, Nurungong, Tallangatta and surrounds should monitor the conditions. On to Fire 3, the Longwood Fire. This is in the heart of the state. And to the fire originally known as that Longwood Fire, it's been burning from the Hume Freeway heading south to Alexandra or south of Alexandra. That's the extent of the fire. Multiple emergency and watch and act warnings are active. At present, there is an active fire near the Merton-Euroa Road, heading in a northerly direction, so it's important to remain vigilant in that region. People in towns from Avenel in the northwest to Longwood and Kithbrook, to Howes Creek and Goffs Bay, south to Eildon, Thornton, Acheron, up to Limestone and Yea, Whiteheads Creek, and then back to Avenel and everywhere in between, essentially. That whole stretch, you should take shelter now. A watch and act is in place for areas to the northeast. This applies to people who are living in Ancona, Kithbrook, Merton, Strathbogie, Strathbogie South and Woodfield, Fawcett, Bonnydoon, Dry Creek, Main Dample, Tallangaluk, Tarua, Barjag, Creek Junction and Lima East. Please monitor conditions as they are changing. And areas to the north and southwest of the emergency warning are also under a watch and act footing. Watch and act warnings in general across the state, there are multiple of those. Let's go through those briskly but clearly. Through the Wanangata Valley to Dargo and Cobbiner, the Bairnsdale-Dargo Road is closed at Beverleys Road, and further east of Dargo along the Wentworth River, prepare to leave. At Cape Otway, Glen Eyre and for parts of the Otway National Park, it is not safe to return. Walkers are no longer allowed to be on that Great Ocean Walk. That's been closed for public safety. However, the Great Ocean Road has reopened, but with speed restrictions in place. At 7 minutes to 4, we've still got about another 3 minutes of warnings. Let's keep it going. For the fire at Harcourt, a watch and act monitor conditions status is in place. It is not safe to return. The fire across the Calder Highway impacted Harcourt and has impacted Mount Alexander and areas to the east. For Carambalak, Stratham and rural Skipton, a watch and act remains in place. It is not safe to return. However, it is safe to return for residents only who evacuated from Skipton Township. I say residents only because it is likely you will need to present proof of address on the Skipton Road heading back into town from the traffic management point. In the west, for East Nadamuck, Grassflat, Nadamuck, Quantong and Vectus East, Vectus South, the watch and act remains in place, but the threat has now reduced for those in that part of the state. And in the Big Desert, further northwest, two watch and acts are up and running. The threat is reduced but remains in place for the area south of Underball. You can get a full list of the warnings information in your area via the Vic Emergency app or the website. Keep listening to ABC Radio, of course, your ABC broadcaster and your emergency broadcaster here on 774. And we'll have another full update with Kirsten DeProse, who'll be stepping in after me after the 4 o'clock news. Kirsten, you are in very good hands. She'll be keeping you on top of all the details with the latest warnings in about half an hour. But keep in mind too that you can keep all of us informed on the number 1300 222 774. It is worth reminding you too that the CFA has declared today a total fire ban for the northeast and north central districts today. No fires can be lit or allowed to remain alight in the open air until midnight tonight. You can find more information via the Country Fire Authority website, CFA, but just repeating, a total fire ban has been declared today for Victoria. It's 5 minutes now to 4, 1300 222 774. I'll be with you for another few minutes before the news. Let me share a couple more texts coming through. This one is, hi David, this is Val who's from Yea. Grateful to all volunteers. Power is back on. That's in Yea, so doing a happy dance here. Val's doing a happy dance. That's good to hear. And if you'd like to play a song, Help Is On Its Way by Little River Band, that would be great. Well, I won't do that as my close, but maybe I'll pass that request on to Kirsten when she steps in about 5 minutes' time. Stephen in Kahuna says, David, thank you to you and the rest of the team at ABC. Well, that includes the wonderful team here. I'm just the bloke who's yapping, as John Fane would say. Richard Gervin has been an absolute mountain. He's been so on top of all the audio, all the grabs, all the drop-ins, all the CFAs and all the CSAs. Richard Gervin, thanks heaps. Big thanks to Ollie Lees, who's extended his stay. I think he was about to scoot and read a book, but no, Ollie's been staying, of course. Thank you, Ollie. And Peter Quattrocelli, it's lovely to meet you too, Peter. Thank you heaps. A big shout out to Julie Clift, who's been helming. Can I use that as a verb? She's been helming the emergency information and passing on all the updates through the screens. Julie, if you're listening, I know you are. Big thanks. And to Shelley Hadfield as well, who's the manager who doesn't seem to sleep. She has been the person who's been getting all these emergency and kind of ad hoc shifts and teams together under some difficult circumstances. And Amber Tripp, who stepped in just so Richard can go out and have a gasp of fresh air. Amber, she'll be looking after Kirsten DeProse's show in a little while later. A couple minutes now before 4 o'clock. A few more texts coming through to you. This is from Scott. Thank you for your coverage, ABC. Fantastic communication. I feel reluctant to reading out that kind of self-praise, but I know you mean it. But as a resident of a safe suburb in Melbourne, Brighton East, is there anything that ordinary people like myself can do to contribute to people who have lost their homes or livestock? This is a good point you make, Scott. It's something that we'll be addressing in the weeks to come here at the station and here as a state, as a community, or communities plural. I'm sure that others would like to know how to help but are not sure what to do, whether it's finance or whether it's providing urgent supplies. Scott, I think that's a question that we can grapple with more and more in coming days. Some of the organisations that you might be able to get in touch with include the likes of Blaze Aid, Food Bank, people like the Smith family. You can basically get in touch with any of those agencies that serve the bushfire affected areas. But we'll be doing our best as a station and as a community catalyst to try and work out where those conduits may be, Scott. But it's a very good point you make. And the best blueberries ever. I love how we're getting back to blueberries now. We got lost in crows versus ravens. Then we were talking about the scale, whether it's the Gambia or Wales or half of, 25 MCGs. This is from Joan and Brian, who are in Wangara. David, the best blueberries ever. Been thinking of you all. Keep safe. Thank you for that. Limestone, we're doing our best to try and keep on top of all areas. And this one is, David, it's great to have the team at ABC with the updates. That's from Maria in Huon. And Hope Comms can keep stressing not to use chainsaws on total fire bans. That's a very good point. It's not just about the fires, it's anything that can produce a spark, so that includes chainsaws. Friday and again today, chainsaws being used on fallen trees, not on any road or impeding any movement, just on private property. Please be safe, be sensible, be community minded. I really appreciate all your texts and calls all the way through, and Victoria Police have confirmed that human remains have sadly been found in the Longwood bushfire area. People were able to access a fire-affected stretch off Yark Road at Goba this afternoon, and remains were found around 100 metres from a vehicle. that person is yet to be formally identified. Police I should say, will prepare a report for the coroner. So that's just come through. Some pretty solemn news from the fire grounds. I really appreciate your texts and your calls. Keep them coming through to Kirsten, who'll be stepping in after the 4 o'clock news. The numbers you know are 1300 222 774, 1300 222 774, and keep texts flowing through on the text line 0437 774 774. I've been David Astle, and I'll be David Astle on the evening show from 6:30 tomorrow. Keep well.
This is ABC News with David Rollins. First to some news that has just arrived. Victoria Police say the remains of a person have been found in the bushfire-ravaged Longwood area near the central Victorian town of Seymour. Police say human remains were found about 100 metres away from a vehicle on a stretch of road that became accessible this afternoon. The full statement from Victoria Police reads that we confirm the human remains have sadly been found in the Longwood bushfire area. Police were able to access a fire-affected stretch off Yark Road at Cabur this afternoon. The remains were found around 100 metres from a vehicle. The person is yet to be formally identified. Police will prepare a report for the coroner. That news just in. Meantime, south of the Longwood fire in central Victoria, the house of one family in Acheron was saved, despite flames making it to the perimeter of the property. CFA volunteer Christina briefly returned home to get a hat before returning to firefighting in Alexandra.
Literally come right up to the paddock. A lot of that garden singed down there, but thankfully the grass was low there. It's just still doing my job, and I think, working today, and then I'll have a few days off, and then that's probably when I can start processing what's actually gone on.
Colaban Water says it can't restore water services to the central Victorian town of Harcourt until it gets workers in to assess the damage. The small town south of Bendigo has so far been the hardest hit in Victoria's current bushfire emergency, with 47 homes and 3 businesses destroyed in the Ravenswood fire. Colaban Managing Director Damien Wells says a temporary water supply will be set up for the town as soon as possible. He says workers have to physically go in and assess whether the water supply has been contaminated.
Each one of those homes will have damaged water infrastructure, particularly the water meter out the front. So we will need to effectively crimp that off and work through sequentially property by property to make sure that we can successfully restore the network.
Queensland's Premier says residents in the state's north should stay vigilant as further heavy rainfall batters the region in the wake of ex-tropical cyclone Koji. Flooding has closed the Bruce Highway near Bowen, and flights to and from Mackay and the Whitsundays have been cancelled. Premier David Crisafulli says government agencies are working to restore power to up to 22,000 homes and businesses.
We've seen the wind, and that's starting to dissipate. That rain is occurring. We've seen large amounts of rain with more to come. And then there's the prospect of flooding. Queenslanders will handle that. They always do. We'll give the information as soon as we have it.
Whitsunday's Mayor Ry Collins says conditions have been wet and wild across the region.
We've seen quite a bit of damage occurring, a lot of trees down, those sorts of type things. And then also quite a lot of rainfall as well. So anywhere between 200 mils in Cannonvale, around about 150 mils in Bowen. And really that's just continuing on today.
More details are emerging of the scale and intensity of anti-government protests across Iran, with reports suggesting hundreds of people have now been killed in clashes with security forces. Reports are still getting beyond Iran's borders, despite a nationwide internet blackout, as the BBC's Joe Inwood reports.
Footage on social media shows a dark Tehran skyline.
Right, hello everyone, and welcome to this bit of a Sunday, this Sunday afternoon stream. Yes, as you just heard, there's still a lot of bushfire and fire activity around the state. It hasn't been, well, Skipton is around about 20 k's away from here, and or 25 k's, and we got a lot of the smoke from there over a couple of days. It was very smoky this morning about 7 o'clock when I went out for a walk, but it's quite clear now and the sun's out and everything like that. So yeah, but it's quite cold. It's only about 17, 18 degrees. That's because the wind is blowing from the south, and it's quite a strong wind too. So on Friday it was particularly bad. It got up to 42.3 here at my place in Ballarat, and it was, well, it's not the hottest day I've experienced, but it was pretty warm. Okay, now yes, up in Mildura got to 46 or something like that. Okay, so that says Comgay, yeah, Komgay. Just getting this all ready. Now this is a really horrible plug. It's supposed to be rubber, but it's rock hard, and it's an Everlast brand of plug. So I don't think it's going to, yeah, it lasts forever, but yeah. So this radio, I've written here, working, very distorted, new 6M5. And we've got the Variac up at 240 volts. We're going through a dim bulb, and we'll turn that on. Now, I don't know whether you can see the dim bulb or not. Certainly see my cup of tea. I'm not sure what that's focusing on. So focusing on that. There's nothing in front of it. Oh, this one, yeah. This really thin little cord, and yeah, it gets upset because that's in front of the lens. Yeah, so the radio is working. We've got dial lights. I've plugged in an aerial, and we've got absolutely nothing. That's full volume. So the amplifier is working, and it's actually not getting all that hot. This was sort of the last of the Stromberg Carlsons, which I did over the last couple of years. So nothing there, and nothing here. This is just the earth wire, and that's a 6A8, and it says OK on it. Don't put your fingers under there. Yeah, inspect 10, inspection written on it. Yeah, the rectifier's not getting hot. I'm going to bypass the dim bulb. Unplug that. And we'll plug this one in. I can hear the speaker humming. It's looking a little bit brighter in the 6M5. 6N8 maybe. Yeah, that's getting hot now. No string in it. Yeah. So it's somewhere between here and here. It's not connected. And this is pretty scrappy, this radio. Needs all new wire too, by the looks of it. That is really horrible. The chassis, well, the chassis is not bad, but it's pretty filthy. And there's rust spots all over the top here. Right. Let's have a look underneath. And we'll see if we can trace that through. Move this box actually. Not that it matters much. Yeah, that's definitely getting hot enough. So this was a brand new 6M5. And yeah, it looks like I've recapped it fully. And that should be quite hot, and it's not. Just wondering. No. Okay. So let's check some voltage. Well, actually, what I'm going to do first is swap out that 6A8 if I've got another one. So bear with me. So yeah, I've got a bushfire in Vermey Park, which is not that far from here. It's probably just outside of Ballarat. I think there's a bus, a suburban bus which goes there. So let's have a look for a 6A8. See if I've got a spare. Running quite low on valves. Haven't really bought any for a couple of years now. 6A7. U7. Uh, 6BA. 6 Q7s. Six A7, to 6A8, 6V6s, 6A8, and we'll see if we've got a new one. 6D6, 6B7, 7. 80, 6A8, except the box is empty. I've used that one. That one. Okay. So we do have an alternative. Put these back in the cupboard. And I do have some good ones, but they're in radios, and I'd have to search around for them. Right. The cap there. Something. This is marginal, this one. And the other one is okay. So swap this one. Out and over. That's really tight. Right. Let's see if we can get anything this time. So something's working. No. Oh, we've got a bit of noise. Yeah, that doesn't sound very good, does it? Right, let's turn this down. And we'll turn it on again. See if it makes that banging noise again. Now it's not working. So we've got something not connecting properly. That. Okay. Right. Oh, I see. There's a wire off here. Wonder what that does. Yeah. Is it supposed to be on there? And it looks like it could go there. All right. I don't know whether that is going to... It's gone to sleep. So this could either be a very, very loud bang and lots of flames, or could be the source of our problem. Or our immediate problem. It definitely had something on it. Right. Gee, we'll need to be a bit higher than that for this. And these were such a basic radio anyway. And wasn't too fussed about fixing this one, but as it was going, and oh, there we go. So this has got mud all over it. I wonder, it doesn't look like it's come from there, but try. There's some solder. This is just crumbling away, this insulation on this wire. Okay. Another bushfire at Black Hill, and that one is quite close. There's been quite a few incidents around there. This just isn't sticking. There must be bits of rubber in the mix. Okay, finally got it. Okay. Right, let's put this through the dim bulb just in case that creates a dead short. Here we go. Bring that down a bit to 200. Yep, that's working. No dead shorts. Actually, that wire isn't connected at the other end either. It's just snipped off. I wonder if someone's bypassed it. You know, the dim bulb isn't very bright. Still no reception. amplifier at least. So let's have a search around and have a look at some of the voltages on these two valves. Okay, 6A8, wasn't it? 45, 6, CM6, 6BN4, 6BA7, 6AQ, 6A8 is where 6AQ, 6AD, 6A8, there we go. Now, so we should have, we've got 6.3, 250 on the plate. Yeah. So 250 on the plate. Is what we're looking for. And the plate is grid K, heater grid, anode, heater. Where's the plate? Right, I'll see what we've got on these. Can you see that? No. Do it's not it. It's not it. This is the plate, and I can't quite find it. It's 68 volts. Let's throw the dim bulb. 67 on that one. And get down there. Yeah. Haven't got the right voltage on the valves. I'll go back to the two direct. I reckon the resistor is blown or something. Not a sausage. Help if I turned it on. Can't hear anything again. Let's do this. We've got, there's the heat. Where? It's not the heater. what, 2.8 on that one, and that maybe. Come on. 189. Yeah, that should be much higher than that. Let's try this 16.8. Now I'll have to be careful because these are very tiny. So nothing on that one. Let's try not to shield the nothing on that one. Nope. And yeah, there's nothing on these. No voltage on those. So let's have a look down at the rectifier. And that is down here. And what have we got? Have we got anything on this resistor? 280 volts on there. That's odd. I wonder if this rectifier valve is kaput. Had a couple lately. Yeah, what's on this? Is there any voltage on this? No voltage on there. Okay. Let's go to AC. And we'll check this again. Come on. Nothing on that one. Nothing on that one. Right, and got any voltage on this? 281. That sounds right. And it goes up to that one. And we'll check the other end of this capacitor. And we've got no voltage on that one. And only 1 volt on that one. So let's check our resistors again. Turn off. Good. So let's go to ohms. Come on. That one. Now we'll just check these in circuit for the second. Yep. I'm just doing very quickly to see if anything's open. No. Oh, open. Okay. No, that's not open. There's a couple of meg. And not that one. That one's okay. That one's okay. And what's this one up here? That's not looking too happy. It's okay though. And this is okay. We've got a couple down here. I'll do this big one first. That's okay. 500 ohms. That one's okay. And lucky last. That one's okay. So let's have a look at our IF cans. That one's okay. That one's okay. That one's okay. And that one's okay. So I'll do this resistor. Yep. Everything's okay. Check our coils, but they're okay, I'm sure. Yep. Let's check the caps. This reads the micas. No. Not in circuit at least. Yeah. Well, getting voltage through there, even though it's not turned on. Yeah, I don't know really what's going on here. Let's try another 6N8. Think I've got one of those in the box of tricks. Had those go a couple of times before. And 6N8. thought I was playing around with those the other day. So there's an empty box at least. 6U3. Should really. Six and 8. I think I've got one reasonable one left. Six and 8. And that's not the original one in the box. Here we are. This one's made in Holland. 6 and 8. It looks quite different to Australian ones. As you can see, Dutch, Australian. They're pretty disgusting, those pins. Here we go. That's the, no, that is right. This one in. That was pretty loose, but there's that click again. Other than the hum, I can't hear anything. No. This is really got me stumped. I did write on it working. And all I've done is pick it up and bring it in here. So, given the low voltages, I might try swapping the rectifier valve. We know the 6M5 is working, that's brand new. So unless it's been blown up in here, but it is making noises, so. This is a 6X5. What's this one? This is 6x5. How handy. Come on. Right. So this has got all different valves in it. I don't know about the 6x5. That's not lighting up all that brightly. Here's some noises. Little tiny clicks as it heats up. No. This is really odd. I'm going to try removing that wire. I'm sure it doesn't go anywhere. Although there was a wire on there by the looks of it. And that has just fallen off again. There's the rubber. Let's just see if that does connect up anything. That was working before, wasn't it? Got some sort of breakdown on something. And that looks like the wire. And yeah, doesn't go anywhere. Wonder why that was put in there. Although there is 2 wires in there, I think. Yeah, there's 2 wires in there. But yeah. But that must have done something at some stage. And it's definitely been snipped off there. But it was working. So yeah. Now, do I dare move that? It's so crispy, that wire. Now, that is the, yeah, that's 1, 2, 3. How can we do this? Lift it up like so. And we've got that wire there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. So that is the loudness tap there. And we've got the 3 connections over here. Just going to put that over there. Let's see what's on our pot. to do this without blocking it off. Can you see that? Not quite. So we've got 0.78 meg there. And 3.9k there. So that's just on. .79. And point 0.6. So the first one was 0.79 meg and the other one was 0.69k, which doesn't sound right anyway. And we'll go to the full position. This is one of the taps. So I can go under here, can't I? So that's that one. And that one. 0.8. Yeah, that's sort of alright. And that's the other side. Yeah, 1.9. So the volume control seems okay. There's one of the wires broken and touching. This is a strange mixture of the rubber coated wire down here and cloth covered wire and the fiberglass insulation. And this horrible thing down here, which is rubber coated, shielded, cloth covered and rubber coated. Yeah, they really just used whatever they could find at this stage to get the radios out the door. So that's double coated cloth wire there. Yeah. Any suggestions? Something's breaking down and not, and we're losing continuity from the through the IF stages. What I might do is just see if the oscillator is running. So we'll turn it down in case it suddenly does work. So that's okay. Sounds like Donald Duck.
In some news for those people in the east, Narelal Valley, Kajiwa. Paris Spark, this stock-take sale is on now. Save 50% off cookware by...
It's 3AW. Don't normally get that on a Sunday afternoon.
Mango tree out. The entire tree was
Ooh.
wrapped in light, including the branches.
These are preparations for Christmas Day and the days ahead. The light show
Ooh.
first started in the east. Road. Residents.
And check your neighbours to see if they are monitoring conditions. Protect yourself and your family. Leave if the situation...
Central Goldfields doing a leave announcement.
Next.
Ah, that's interesting. Don't seem to have an oscillator. And yeah, okay. Don't trust this radio. So let's lie it down. And I was turning the tuning core then, and it made a lot of banging noises. I reached the end. Ooh. Okay, we do have reception. Or something. Okay. So it just sounds like it needs a good alignment, doesn't it? No stations though. That doesn't sound too good, does it? We're getting a signal through. And that aerial is right next to the light. That's better. Turn that light off. That's causing a bit of problems. I'll have to have a look at that. Got something there. That sounds horrible. I mean, it sounds like it's underwater, doesn't it? Okay. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is unsolder that speaker wire, and we'll try a different speaker. Okay. Now, yeah, okay. Where are my small pliers there? Now I'll try and do this without burning myself. But I'll take that 6M5 out. It is really hot, hot, hot. Here, and we'll undo this wire. As I suspect it might be the speaker, although that it isn't the problem with the intermittent stuff. I suspect we're going to need some, no, fresh solder is what I was about to say. And that's fallen down to there, okay. I don't know how I got that on there. Some hot snot on the drawer handle. Now I just want some sort of hook. Or these things will be great. So I can drag this up, put a clip lead on it. Put one there. Better. And what have we got with clip leads left? Not much, I suspect. Just have to use this one. Yes, my two what are they called? The aerials. Certain type of aerial, and they keep on failing. So let's have another speaker, and we'll try and clip onto that one down there. Although that's not going to work, is it? Might work. No, it won't. That's coming out of the... Okay. Put this back on again. So there's 2 wires onto this speaker. There's the actual speaker wire and the wire from the output transformer. So we'll put this one back on and we'll go from underneath. And we'll just put a that's connected. Okay, now let's have a gander underneath. So that's coming, that's from the volume control that we've just done. And the other one is coming. Where's the other one coming from? Oh, it's just down to ground. Okay, that's easy. Yeah. Now, it's potluck whether this is going to work or not, as in the radio itself, not getting the speaker to work. So we'll find another speaker. Got plenty here. Perfect, but it's better. Yeah. These are all the speakers. All the 5-inch ones anyway. I've got a couple more out in the garage, and I've got a ton of more modern ones, MSP ones, in boxes, brand new, old stock, and I've got a few 6-inch ones. Yeah, okay. Oh, here's one. This one's from 1960. Ooh, so modern. Probably out of a TV or something. And we've got some wires on it. And so we can solder this onto here. Sorry if you're in the dark. It's on there temporarily. And these down. And just attach this through here. These things are drilled for every conceivable radio that Stromberg Carlson made. And see if this one sounds okay. It will not be perfect, but I think this one works. Just check the continuity on it. Yep. We've got so it'll be potluck whether the radio works. And about 20 leads, clip leads on this aerial. No. Oh, sausage. Just humming again. Oh, didn't put the 6M5 in, did I? Folks are dumb where I come from. Okay. Don't need that. It's cooled down enough. Advice for air quality across the state. Yeah, don't breathe the air. Yeah, which way did that go in? Can't see the pins. That's it. Nothing? Nothing again. No. Something is very odd with this, isn't it? Oh, okay. So we've got stuff down here. Yeah, the front end isn't working again. Something is sort of making that hissing noise. That's like it's shorting or burning out something. And it's clicking. It's trying to work. I think it might be the tuning gang actually. trying to work. Is this not? Ooh, okay. So something down here. Yeah, so I'll turn the lights back on again. Yeah, it's working now. But down here, okay. So what have we got here? Something shorting down here or failing. Are they touching? Perhaps. In there, okay. These seem okay. That isn't loose at all. All right, be prepared to be deafened again. I'll be ready to turn off this time. Nothing again. How odd. Yeah, we've got a dead or a sort of a dead resistor in there. So let's measure these properly. I don't know what mauve and green is. Is that mauve? Violet. So 7, 5, 57. It's very specific volt resistance, isn't it? 57. Brown is 1. So green, brown, mauve, or violet. Sure, that's violet on there. Yeah, there's definitely violet. Okay. We've got another one below it. So we've got 4, 5 components hanging off of this solder. So that's 1.1 meg. That's that one. And this one is 2 meg. Does that sound right? And what's the other one? 2 meg. So that should be a 2 meg resistor. Don't know how they work that out. That's a 7. It's definitely pinky bluey colour, like the one below it. I'm going to take that out of circuit and measure it. This cord untangled. I don't know how that power cord has got so tangled up in this. There we go. Okay. There we go. So we'll take this one off first because there's only a couple of things holding that in. A couple of things on that. I've soldered it properly. There's that twisted around. Actually, that looks... Look at that wire. Yeah, that's all right. Am I able to take this out of circuit? Yep. Okay, that one's out. And that's that. Open loop, is that? No, 2.2 meg. That is really odd. 2.2 meg. Never seen a 2 meg resistor with brown, green and violet. Right. So we'll do that one. This has got a very big blob of solder on it, and I didn't do it. Come on. There we go. So, let's see what this one is. So this one is green, brown, black, and measures open. No, Yeah, 1 meg. 1.1. Yeah. So that one's all right. I assume. I haven't got the schematic for this. I have no idea what model this one is. So much writing on the back of it. Yeah. I could go and get the circuit book and we can sort of see if we've got any clues from that. Actually, I'll look up Radio Museum and look at the valve lineup. Just bear with me. Museum and what have we got? Microphone wires here. Okay. So that, yeah, that's better. And so Stromberg Carlson. We'll have some pictures for now and 1945 to 1955 and go for Australia. Right. So it's not that one, not that one. It's not that one with the 2 knobs at the front, but it's got that style of cabinet. Again, that's not it. So that's still a cabinet, but that's got a knob at the front. It's got the knob at the front. So it's a 4 something. They're all 5s. 4 A20. Let's have a look at this one. So yeah, that hasn't got the front knob. 6A8, 6N8, 6M5, 6X5. So it's a 4A20. I'm about to sneeze. And I think the Radio Club books cover these. Stromberg Carlson. Is this? This is 56 to 58. What year is this? So 1951-ish. Might be in the awesome books. Circuits. 47 to 50. Stromberg Carlson. No. 540. $600s. No 4As. Got 5As in there. So let's have a look if we've got a schematic for it. No. Same as 4A20 with 6M5. So we got this one, and that looks like it. And schematic. No schematic again. Right. Let's have a look at Kevin Chant's website. And there we go. And I think he's got Stromberg Carlson. And was it a 4A20 or something, wasn't it? 4A20. No. 4A20. No, we don't have 6A, 5, 4, 4, 8, 4A, two of those, so it's a 5, it's a 54, here's the other one. So it's a 6 4A. Okay. Let's have a look for 4A20. Stromberg Carlson. Looks like Radio Museum only. Tech Talk. Okay. Let's have a look at this one. It says there's a PDF with it. There's a PDF there. Just saying I can provide a circuit diagram for this radio, no problem. Parks, New South Wales. Okay, so there's the, and it's got the 6M5 in it too. Right. Now, such a simple radio, isn't it? Nothing in this. Right, let's save that. And we'll open this up. I've had to stay with Adobe for Photoshop. And I haven't downloaded the reader yet. This lets me do things, or open things, but I can zoom in on them, but I can't rotate them. Yeah. So let's zoom in a bit. So, what have we got up here? The L's there. We've got the resistors. So 0.1. I can't read the values on that. Yeah. So that's a 50,000 ohm. So that's a 50k, and it goes to the pin 4 of that. So let's have a look at that. I think that might be a 50k as well. So let's have a look at this part of the circuit. Where are we? OBS. I want to go back to that. I'll go back to YouTube. Now, there we go. Okay, just a bit of a delay on that. So I'm just looking at we're that far behind. Jeez, that was about 10 minutes ago. Okay. So what was it? Pin 4 out of the 6A5, 6A8. So that's going to be those two up the top. So what we really want is the values out of the 6 and 8. that's only just showing. Yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm having a look on the phone and seeing when I put my hand in front of the camera. Okay, so you're only getting this about a minute behind, whereas the monitor on YouTube is just showing the Radio Museum. We're putting the details into Radio Museum. Okay, so let's go back to here. I'll just do this. So we know they should be okay. And what have we got here? 47, 1.71, 17. I can't quite read this schematic. It's just not clear enough. Looks like 17 and 17. And 1. And point 0.03 resistor. 0.05. 0.25. Don't know. It's 70,000. This is weird. 0.02 on a resistor? Okay. Okay, so what does this say? For receivers using valve type 6 and 8 in lieu of 6AR7, note resistor shown becomes 1 meg and becomes 5.5 meg, so that's 500k. Oh, I see what they mean. Aerial coil, oscillator coil, dial scale, padder. Okay. And that's got all the, yep, 5C with 5,000 ohm transformer. Yep. So, okay. And our IF frequency is 455. Okay. So, that looks, so that was what, 1 meg or something, wasn't it? Better put these back in before I forget where they go. So they're not open. And I'm going to put the pliers there. Now that was attached, definitely, but it's come out. Put that right back back in there. Should have enough solder on here. That's okay. And that's definitely okay. And put this one back in. Get it to reach again. Okay. Doesn't want to go back in, even though it's not cut. Right, come on, melt. Melt before. Put a little bit of solder on that, it's not melting. Bit of fresh solder. Come on, melt. That's it, got it. Okay. And okay, I have to bend that in. Just won't go in. Even though it came out of there. Come on. That one's loose again now. Why won't that? Go in there. I'm going to have to use my fingers and burn them. Come on, ow. That's it. Now go in there. So many components into this. There we go. These are all hooked onto each other. Maybe that's why we're getting an intermittent. There's so many components in there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to smother that with solder. And try and bring that over, actually. It's way away from the thing. That's better. Now that might have fixed it. And yeah, it's this one. I don't know whether you can see it or not. It's this one down here, and it's got so many components into this one terminal here. So we'll check the other one. That feels okay. Yeah, okay. We'll try this now. And we'll see if we get anything. And I'll turn that light off again. Nothing so far. I'm going to click again. Try this one. Is that hiss I can hear? A little bit of hiss there. No. This is really frustrating, this radio. So simple. No. Yeah. Nothing. I don't know. This might be one for next Saturday. Oh. It's trying to work. Okay, now it's down here. Interesting. Now it's not down here. Is there a dry joint on that? That's odd. Okay. So just wait a couple of moments for it to lose its charge. Not the as much. Now, it was down. Now it was down here. I was touching and we were getting a connection of some description. And as far as I can tell, that is connected properly. And it's got that on it. That looks all right down there. Definitely, that's really tight. And this one's really tight as well. In fact, I didn't even do anything with that one. It's just might put some more solder on that and we'll see if that does anything. Don't like drowning things in solder, but I'm going to make sure they're connected. Right. Let's try. And this resistor down here. Where does that go to? Goes down to here. And that would make sense. Does that resistor go over that? So that one goes from that to that coil. It goes from that coil to the 6M5. So I'm just looking at the schematic here. M5, it's half a meg. Through that, it's the one we've just fixed. That's 0.5, that doesn't go there. There's no direct. Must be a half a meg, that one. And that connects up with that. Yep, that's half a meg, that one. Again, it's sort of a orange, violet. It's supposed to be half a meg. And when it's in circuit, but and yeah, 78k. Well, not half a meg. It should be 500k, shouldn't it? Oh no, that's not. is odd. What have we got? So that's our 6M5 there. And what's it connect? So that is actually connected to that pin, I think. Yeah, no, it's connected to. Is it connected to a pin there? Yeah, it must be. Yeah, that's connected to that pin. Ah, I've just seen down here we've got a wire that isn't soldered. Ah, I mean everything else is. I mean it's through the hole, and everything else is soldered in, but that one is loose. It's not soldered. Have we found our problem? It's only taken 2 hours. Now, how do I get the soldering iron down in there? Without burning everything. Careful. Burn the capacitor. No, there's no. Is that soldered? Hasn't. Right. It's got to be soldered in. So much solder down there. Yeah, that wire is now soldered in. No, it's loose again. Ah, I wonder why. That is really weird. There's so much solder in there and it's just not taking to the hole. I'll put a gallon of flux on that. And this radio is so filthy, and there's flux everywhere now. I get that down in there. Have I got anything? I can wash that off. No, I'll use this. It's one of those things where there's about 5 wires onto this. Yeah, that flux is just going everywhere. It's just a small hole in the it's got to go on there. Is that taken? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, no, that's taken. Long last. Right. Now, can we try it? All looks good, looks good. Turn off that light as it warms up. Still nothing. No. That is definitely working. That one is working. Absolutely nothing again. This is so frustrating. Yeah, that one goes to there. Now we've got something loose. Something down here. I haven't actually touched any of that. And we've got... It's not touching anything. Wonder. That's really odd. Yeah. I mean, that would be preventing the signal getting through. So that connects onto the coil. So 750, is it a 57? 37 or 7. 53. I missed that. Green, orange, green, black. Just see what voltages we're getting on that. And sorry about the lighting. I'll really have to do something with my aerial. So we've got, nobody can see that, no, where And put this speaker around here. And we'll prop this up on here. Yeah. So we are here, aren't we? We've got a tag strip there, and we've got 1.8 volts there. And what have we got on the that's strange. What have we got on the other end of it? 1.7 volts. So that is doing virtually nothing. And I'm hitting it now and it's not doing the banging noise. There it is. Have we got a broken wire in the coil perhaps? Oh, I heard some static then. Is that mica dead? Seems more like the resistor to me. Wonder. Okay. Yeah. This is really odd. Can't be that mica, can it? I'm hitting down. No. Wonder if it's. So I am just moving. Can't see anything there, can you? Where's my torch? Is that better? Slightly. Very green for LEDs, but they look white here. If I okay. If I lift this up, it's static. So this capacitor is hasn't soldered. Yeah, this was, so filthy that nothing seems to have soldered, even though that looks okay. It's not. Doing what it should be doing. So that's off. And so this one's on. I just hope people don't bring in radios as bad as this next week. I'm sure they will. They'll just bring in the worst radios they can find and just test us. But so let's get rid of this for the moment. I might actually disconnect that for a second. Get it out the way. It'll come off. Come off. There we go. Just spat solder on me. That's a really nice speaker, isn't it? Must have been at a TV or something. Right. Now I think I can lay this one on its back or top. Okay. Where's this? Hold it up. We do this, and yeah, that's definitely connected down there. But is that shorting? No. It's a bad pin or something. It doesn't look like it needs resoldering. Move this up here. Bend this unused pin out the way. Some of the original soldering in these old radios leaves a lot to be desired. Now that is not touching anything there, but that is quite loose. Right. Let's turn it on and turn that down. Don't need it at full volume. It's working. Yeah. It's that pin. So how am I going to fix that? Okay. This hasn't solved the issue of the crappy sound though, has it? Well, that sounded a little bit better. Which one was it? Was one of the ones down the front down here. That's going to be very hot. Burnies. Ooh, ow. Yeah. How can I fix those pins? Yeah. And they look okay. Teletronics socket. That should have another screw in it there. They didn't bother putting one in. In fact, that could be a reason why. You won't be able to see this, but there should be a screw in there, or a rivet or something, whatever they used. Looks like a... There's a screw. That's a really long screw. I wonder if... Yeah. It must have been out of 6M5, 6V6s or something. And they converted it. And they've just missed this socket here. Now, am I going to be able to put a screw through there? Probably not. That one's on the outside though. Where? Now I can't find the 2 jars of screws, which I cleaned up. Put everything into 2 jars. Yeah, might try one of these. The M3s. And these are going to be too big. Yeah. Oh no. Funny angle. That's really thick steel too. Yeah. See if that is actually loose. No, it's not actually loose. The socket itself. So that screw must be fairly tight. I'm going to show you over here. And we've got any light there. Just about. Yeah. I know it's not in focus, but is that any better? Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's touching that. That's white. Now, so it's down here, and there's only one screw in it, which is this big long one here. And yeah, and it's this pin here, which isn't tight. So we're losing contact to the valve on that one. And if I come around, untangle myself from that. back in there. Yeah, if I bring this around, so down here is the offending valve. Yeah. See if I can get any better view of it. Yeah, no light, of course. Yeah, the 6M5 goes in here. And yeah, down there. If I bring this around, no, you can't see the pins. Well, you can see the pins, but you can't tell that they're loose. So something, I have to somehow squeeze them together, but I can't because they're well and truly embedded in the plastic. Wonder if I can get some sort of hook or something in there to tighten them up. It looks as though yeah, I can see that one is wide open. It's not closed up at all. It looks like something's been down in there before. Look in this drawer, my hooks. There we go. So I've got this drawer with all the junk in it. These are just the cheap IKEA ones. $79 or something like that. I think they're still $79. I've had that for about 7 years now. There was that. That's caught in there. Can't get that out. Get on this side of that pin. Squeeze this together. That's better. Let's try and do the other ones. Couple more. And that should be it. Now I'll spray some gunk down there. So this is the stuff you don't use on plastic, but I'm hoping this will be okay. This is replaceable anyway. It may need replacing. Good. And put valve back in. That's a bit tighter than it was. And everything looks okay. I've just noticed that cord is absolutely kaput. And it's better. And oh, sorry about that. Yeah. So this is kaput. Look at that. That's been burnt. So I'm going. If I'm successful with this, I'll restring it. Probably see if I can get the speaker out of working. Does work, but doesn't sound very good. And I'll clean it up. Yeah, still got all the crap down in there. So let's have a see if it'll work. Again, I'll turn the light off. And oh, we've got a big spider's nest down there from 20, 30 years ago, probably 50 years ago. I think these were stored under a house or something like that for a very long time. He had a really, really big collection, and by the time I got there, it was just leftovers. Unfortunately, it was just sort of word of mouth. And yeah, that tuning coil tuning gang still got issues by the sound of it. It sounds more like silver mica disease, doesn't it? Crashing. No stations. I've got static there though, and that's working. Hear voices very, very faintly. Okay. Well, one step forward, two steps back by the sounds of it. And that valve still sounds a bit dodgy. So we're getting static up that end, and that so if I touch that, nothing down here though. Absolutely dead as a doornail. Oh, that's the tuning, isn't it? Yeah, dead as a doornail. When I come down this end of the band, that's just the spring catching. No, nothing there now. Oh, there we go. That is the... Perhaps it's just so... There's a station there, I can hear music. Station there. Yeah, there's the racing station. That's full volume. So it's not the valve now.
Let's go to which one has the third. The running of the third again. And that lightness and rain just starting again here.
Okay. I'm going to turn... Oh, ow. Gee, that's loud. So, I'm just going to try one very quick thing, and I'm going to end it for the day. So, actually that is getting warm. I don't know quite how warm these get. There's the transformer. So I'm going to try connecting up the speaker again. And we'll just see, just test and see if the sounds any better through this one. The other one's still going to be connected, but I would think that the original one is put right. are you going to work? Sort of. Yeah. There's the racing station there. Nothing getting through again. Touching the cap on this. Okay. So we've got a dodgy connection on this one as well. Have we? Well, that's killed it. Back again. Yeah, this is just so... This was, yeah, it's like it was thrown in a puddle. Let's full volume. Nothing again. Okay. It's trying to work. But nothing. That stopped again. Yeah, it's these pins. Right, so we've got static, so we can find a station. We ran here somewhere. Yeah, that's working.
I think Michael's up magic money. It is 39, set to run. Race it in and then goes fast away in the
Okay. Right. Okay, I'll take that out and we'll clean up the pins. It feels reasonably tight. I'm going to have to go and get my dinner in a minute. This has been going on a bit long. But we're making progress at least. Come on. Okay. And I mean that's clean enough. I'll give that a bit of no, I won't. is that it'll take that spring off while I'm here. If I can get it out. No, it won't. There's tons of dust and muck flying off of this spring, and okay. Let's see if I can get it out. Good. Okay, that solves one problem. So with there, right. Yes, so if you're in Melbourne next Saturday, the 17th of January, 2025, so 17th of January 2025, we're running a workshop where you can bring along your wrecked radios, or the radios you shouldn't say wrecked, should I? Inviting problems. That's not working at all now. Yes, we're running a workshop where you can bring along your radios you can't work out what's wrong with them, and we'll have a go at fixing them. Yeah. That's slightly better. There we go. And it's not connecting again, is it? Right. So let's have a listen to this speaker. That's not going to work, is it? No. It's not the speaker making all that distortion. And that's died. That sounds really like a transistor with really flat batteries. Well, I'm giving up on it. Okay, yeah. So as I was saying, next Saturday, the 17th of January 2025, is going to be a workshop day where you bring along your the radios you can't work out what's wrong with, and we'll have a go at trying to fix them. Hopefully they're not like this. They're just simple problems where there's a open resistor, or a valve is not quite conducting, or something like that, a bad valve. They're pretty rare. I mean, I'm getting tired here. Open transformer. What sort of transformer? Speaker transformer, whatever you call that. Audio transformer. Yeah, and if it's really dead, like the actual, the transformer's died, or something like that, I wouldn't bring those along. This has got a spider's nest up in there. Where's the other camera? Yeah, this has got... Yeah, can you see that white thing there? That's a spider's nest, and there's another one up the top, up here, and there was one down in there too which fell out, and a couple more around. Output transformer, that's what I was trying to think of. So if the output, we can test the output transformer, we can test the speaker, we can test valves, we can sort of trace open resistors and like this, open connections, but we can't do a wholesale recap or anything like that. We will probably have a few caps there, key ones, and we'll have a few key valves. Apparently there'll be a valve tester. I'm taking along a few valves to test, and yeah, so, and there's going to be a fire sale too of radios from a very big collection, because he's got to move in the next couple of weeks. He's bought a new house, and they don't want to rent in the meantime or put things into storage. So yeah, it'll be an interesting day. Starts at 1 o'clock, I believe. You can look on the HRSA website, hrsa.org.au, for details, and yeah, be there or be square. So thanks for tuning in and seeing me struggle through this radio, which was working and then it wasn't, and then I discovered a couple of unsoldered joints where things had come off, even though it soldered them. And yeah, so it looks like the valve sockets need a lot of work. I'll clean them out with these interdental brushes. Yeah, those things. These are just the Coles ones, and they work just as well as the expensive ones. Yeah, so okay, I'm off to have some dinner. It's almost 7 o'clock. Yeah. So, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like and all that sort of thing. My numbers are slowly creeping up, and yeah, this is still back hours ago when I was going through Radio Museum. Very odd. Okay, so have a good week or whatever, and I'll speak to you during the week. I think I've got a very special radio which someone has brought down from Canberra for me to fix, and yeah, and I've done the first part of that, so I'll put that up in the next few days. Otherwise, I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.